So here's what I was thinking at work. This is actually pretty cool. It's great. I want women out there to pay attention to this because it's a great idea.
Okay.
Those women out there who like to give fake phone numbers at bars and stuff, try giving out the phone number to the suicide hotline. It may help things because these guys are already pretty desperate, and to find that it's a fake number, it would be very helpful, potentially, that when they find out, they're not like, they find out it's got like blown off, they got somebody they could talk to. I think that's kind of a good idea. What do you think?
I think that that is both disturbing and helpful at the same time.
Wow, that's a metaphor for my entire existence.
Let's roll the credits! And welcome to the greatest show online, where we are having some serious lag issues. I am the bearded DJ Allen.
I am the bearded Bob Miato.
Oh my God, we might be back to regular speed here, Bob.
Awesome. I think it was the beards.
It is the beards. It is the beards. Let me write that down. It's the beards. I put so many freaking tags on the last episode that if we don't get a lot of hits off of it, people hate us.
Have you gotten any yet?
I don't know. I didn't check. I've been off work, Bob, for about 45 minutes.
Off work?
Yeah.
Wow. I've been off of work for many, many hours.
Let me tell you a little story, Bob.
Ooh, story time.
Okay. Yesterday, I got called in to cover for the girl whose route I did today.
Okay.
Because her child went home sick. So, on the route, I decided that I wanted to have a lot of caffeine. So I went into Starbucks and I asked for a venti quad shot peppermint latte.
Wow.
Now, I thought I would be bouncing off the walls today. I was not. Although, I slept like shit last night. And thus, I did not have a quad shot again today.
Right. That said, I mean, you want, there's times when you want to be super insane bug hyper.
Yes.
You don't want to just not be tired, but you want to be bouncing off the goddamn walls, freaking hyper.
I want to have so much caffeine that I want to be able to grab the mail for the entire street in my hand, get out of the truck, and run it to where it needs to go.
Cool. There's a thing I saw on Facebook last week. It said that Red Bull, instead of water in my coffee this morning, I was halfway to work before I realized I forgot my car. I love that. That is so cool.
I forgot my car. I love you, Bob.
Hey, right back at you, buddy.
I have granola stuck between my gums and my lip. And it's very annoying.
I was reading here recently that granola isn't nearly as good for you as they are advertising, in the way that it's not actually as good for you as they say, like by a long shot. And people are taking it as a health food, a diet food, I think that was one of the main reasons why it wasn't as healthy for you, is because instead of other things that are more healthy, and they're eating a lot of it, because, you know, like my grandma, that she used to drink the crap out of Diet Pop because it said diet on it. And I think that's kind of a social mentality there. That's how people think about things.
But now, is it granola itself or is it granola bars?
You know what? The bars, because granola itself is just the oats and like toasted oats, right?
Well, yeah, it's got some other stuff, but yeah, it's just crumbly. Because the bars, yes, the bars are bad.
But bad bars.
The granola that I ate was just some was in the health food section of the grocery store that I sprinkle on my Greek yogurt that had strawberries in it, and I have dislodged the chunk that was bothering me.
You're awesome.
Thanks.
Chunk
I'm glad
dislodger.
somebody noticed.
The difference between the granola we have and the granola the world eats is that we read the ingredients. Or we make it ourselves.
Ooh, cool.
Because I actually found a lot of stuff in the grocery store that was supposed to be healthy and it had high fructose corn syrup in it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was reading because I read a lot. I noticed it was a list of things that were marketed and said to be healthy, but aren't.
Yes. Now, Americans eat a lot of high fructose corn syrup because, well, it's in damn near everything. So basically, high fructose corn syrup is for chumps. Oh, do you want some granola?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. This one has oats and dark chocolate.
Oh. Nice. Dark chocolate is supposed to be really good for you.
Yes.
In moderation.
Well, I mean, yeah. Anything in not moderation is not good for you. For instance, your parents may have said a little bit of dirt never hurt anybody, but we all know, Bob, that a lot of dirt probably hurts lots of people. Yet lots of dirt can bury people.
That's true. I mean, the same goes for water. It's really good for you, but people drown.
That's true.
Yeah. Now, speaking of not healthy for you and yet good at the same time,
donuts.
We're at work every day. We have a truck that comes in at the first break, and they've got donuts on the truck. They've got like lots of food, but the donuts are the one that catch my eye because I'm a fat guy. Well, they only had like 2 donuts left, and one of them was the nasty, just nothing on it, bleh donut, and the other one, it had this frosty-looking stuff on there, so I bought it. Oh my gosh, it tasted like the frosting on a pineapple upside down cake. That not frosting, but that glaze that they have on it. Brown sugary awesomeness.
Okay, it's been so long since I've had a pineapple. It's been so long since I've had that fucking cake that I can't even pronounce it anymore.
Well, pineapple's good for you.
But the cake isn't.
Oh, well, that was my favorite part.
Hey, Bob.
Huh?
We have a viewer.
Hi, viewer.
Hi, viewer. Now, viewer, if you have found us via Facebook, you can possibly win the Last Starfighter 25th anniversary DVD edition. I would mail it to you. I'll tell you how later in the show. See how I got him on the hook now?
Yeah, nice. You know what I don't have here is a writing utensil. I don't have a. I want to mark things off with my paper.
Why don't you run and get one, Bob, and me and the wife will keep everybody occupied.
I'll be right back.
Let's show everybody my bare ass.
Oh God! I see that.
No, get back here. What are you going to show the viewers at home?
I was going to show it to Bob.
Oh, well, show the viewers at home when we prepare it.
Okay, well, this stuff here is brownie batter, but there's no flour in it. It's made out of black beans, like a can of black beans.
So it's black bean brownies.
Yes.
I will show the Bob when he gets back.
I have a
Hi.
love the can.
This Bob,
Yes.
this is a brownie mix, but it's
Uh-huh.
black bean brownies. There's no flour in here. It's made of black beans.
Black beans.
Yes.
Yeah, like a can of black beans.
And
You
it
know, my wife has made bread out of baked beans.
that's apparently supposedly possible too.
Did she find the recipe in a book, like a book to read book?
I don't know where she found it, but that was a huge, huge bug. I'm not sure where she found it.
Maybe she found it in space.
There's the bug up there. I wanted to share that with everybody. Okay. Pretty big bug.
It could be a big bug.
Can you loosen the bottom of this without making a mess? Like it's not gonna pour out, but don't push it against you because the top of it might be dirty.
It could pour out if you try really hard.
Pour your black bean brownies on me.
Black bean brownies. Okay.
How
So I was thinking.
pour some organic coconut sugar on you. That
Yeah.
just doesn't roll off the tongue as well, does it?
No.
No.
That apparently, what does that taste like, hon?
Um.
You said it tasted like something weird.
Oh, it tastes like cinnamon, like ginger snaps or molasses cookies.
Oh, that's so tasty seeming.
This thing is chasing me.
It's a fly?
No, it's a bug. It's like a big hornety waspy thing. And it's chasing me.
A wasp?
Yeah. They're like a wasp type bug. But it's huge. It's got the strength of 3 bugs.
Yeah, now it hasn't lifted you. Is it flying away with something of yours?
No, it's just kind of chilling there, like looking at me like it wants me to ignore it so that it can attack me. Scary shit.
Why don't you, Bob, do what everybody's been waiting for and have Bob versus the Wasp? You
Dun, dun,
find
dun.
something to smash the bejesus out of that stupid bug and make him a mess on a wall or a ceiling or on the floor or wherever he happens to land.
You know, one of the things that we enjoy doing is the carpenter bees, the big bumblebee-looking things, is we shoot at them with our airsoft guns, which I don't have my airsoft guns.
I don't know if those make honey. You have to be careful. Don't injure bees that actually do honey things.
No. No, these are the big bumbly, ugly ones that bore holes into wood and stuff. And what's the other thing they do? Oh yeah, piss me off.
So they're the ones large enough that if they landed on me and their feet stuck, they could carry me away, right? Those are the ones?
Yes, you and whatever it is that you're carrying. So one of the things I was thinking about today at work, I think about a lot at work, because basically at work
To me, Bob, on my end, it doesn't seem like you do anything at work but think.
That's what I do, yeah. In fact, if I could find a job where they pay me to sit and think shit up, man.
If one of us wins the lottery, the other one is going to pay the other one. If I win the lottery, I'm going to pay you to do nothing but think, Bob.
Awesome.
And
So
you're
I
going
get
to
paid by the hour or by thought?
By hour. Because
Anyways,
my thought would be a lot.
Is that I'm a very nice guy. I was thinking that. But one of the things that gets to me, and this has always bothered me, is that it seems like the more of a nice guy you are, the more other people want to fuck with you. And then I become a not nice guy because it pisses me off. I think the world itself does that, to where um, it makes people. I think the world just makes people angry, like society does.
Yes, society sucks.
Society does suck. If it sucked anymore, it would suck more than it does right now.
It
And
would.
that's saying something.
That's why you shouldn't put up with it anymore, Bob. You should move to North Dakota.
Where there are no societies.
Covered wagon, arrows. Yeah, we got it all.
Nice.
Just think, in a couple of centuries, we'll have the internet and power.
Ooh,
You could be there for that revolution.
that would be cool. I was thinking about something.
Really?
There I go thinking again. Next thing you know, I'll be having
wait,
ideas.
does it hurt?
Only temporarily.
Okay.
Sometimes my legs go numb when I think too hard. Anyways, I'm not sure if I can talk about this now. It's got to do with a story idea. Do you see
Oh, up there. Got him.
him? He's got me all paranoid. It's got to do with the story idea that we were talking about last week. So I don't know if that's something that we could talk about in the air or if we have to wait afterwards.
Which story idea? Give me vague, veiled references.
Comiciness.
We should keep that on the down low.
Okay, I kind of figured that. Yeah. You know what was cool the other day is I was talking to this Mexican dude at work, and we were talking about the ghosts and the aliens and all that stuff. And he was telling me about these awesome, cool Mexican ghost stories that are a lot like ours, but they're all Mexican.
Now,
Motherfucker, I'm gonna
get him, Bob. Get him.
look at that guy.
Jesus, get him.
No, it's a bug.
That's right.
It's not Jesus at all.
You kill him dead, Bob. Kill him dead. Find a weapon.
Give me something that.
Here, use my iPad.
Oh no, he's gone. That's not good.
I'm leaving you up, Bob. We all want to see this. We want to see you whoop this bug's ass.
I would have to find it. I'm not exactly positive on the bug anatomy. I wouldn't know where its ass is. I don't know where the bug is. Do you know what I armed myself with? The child had a pair of jeans, or had a pair of pants that had the legs zipped off.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a zipped off leg that can be used as a flailing device.
It's true.
That's a pretty good weapon right there.
It is. You look worried, Bob.
I am. I'm a little scared. That thing is like. You ever see on TV where there's like these bears hibernating and it wakes up and it's really grumpy, grouchy, and it's getting cold outside and that damn thing should be hibernating somewhere. And yet, it's not. It's in my house.
It's because your house is warm, Bob. So you show it. You turn all of the heat off in your house, and it'll go away.
Yeah, I'll do that. All the windows. I'll tell it how much warmer it is outside.
Rattle some stuff, Bob. It's got to be hiding up there on the ceiling somewhere.
I don't know where it's gone. It's a pretty big bug. You know what it's gonna do? It's gonna sting my ass. That's what it's gonna do. And I don't know where it's at. Well, it'd be on my ass.
You don't want it to
I'm not
sting. You don't want it to sting your ass, because stinging.
I don't want it to
your
sting
ass-
me anywhere.
Right. Because that would be bad.
Yeah. Stinging my ass is bad. So, do we still have a viewer?
We do not have a viewer. So the viewer now cannot win the Last Starfighter DVD.
The thing I was going to say, if we did have a viewer, was to observe the fact that we can ask questions.
Well, I had to turn that on before we started, and I don't think I can turn that on anymore. Let me check. Yeah, I can't turn it on.
Look at its nipples. That might turn it on.
But they can comment on the official Greatest Show Online 20 live post in Facebook. I've got that open.
That's if, of course, watching this live. If you're watching a recording of this and you want to speak to us while we're doing this, I don't think that'll work for anybody other than the doctor.
It won't work. Hey, guess what we saw this week?
The doctor?
Well, I saw the doctor too, but Thor: The Dark World.
Ooh, I want to see that with my eyes. Do you know why I didn't see it?
Why?
Because I've been ill. And I didn't want to sit. My birthday was on the 5th. And I didn't, for my birthday, we were going to go see Thor. I didn't want to sit in the movie theater being that guy who coughs the whole damn movie. I hate that guy. He pisses me off. And I didn't want to be the guy who pisses me off.
So you weren't ill like a rapper?
No.
Gotcha.
I was ill, coughing, sneezing, sniffling, so Carol doesn't kill you in your sleep.
Now, we watched, what we're on is the second episode of the 3rd season, and what we did was we watched that episode, and that's the episode, and people, if you don't want to listen to spoilers, you should stop listening now, blah, 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 but I don't care. So,
I love the show.
In that episode, Carol kills a zombie.
Dead.
Yeah. Carol kills a zombie and starts practicing cesarean sections so that she can deliver the baby eventually. Yeah. In case Herschel doesn't make it, which don't spoil it for her. I don't care, but she would get upset. I think I know what happens to the characters that have already been named.
Just out of curiosity, let's hear what you think from not watching it yet.
What?
I'm kind of curious as to what you think. What do you think's going to happen?
I can't say. I can't. I'm almost positive I know, but I don't want to ruin it for somebody.
Gotcha.
Somebody that controls the vagina. And I don't want to. Hey, our viewer's back!
I wonder if it's the same one.
Viewer, if you're the same one, you can talk to us on the official Facebook post from Lime. Just search for limeflavored.com, and it is literally the newest post on limeflavored.com's Facebook page. Lime-flavored.com.
Hold on just a second. There's a giant bug. I'm armed.
Get him, Bob. This is exciting TV. If you kill it, you got to show us the body.
If I kill him now, he's going to fall behind the thing, and I'm not going to be able to show you the body.
Holy crap, that's huge, Bob.
I know.
That looks like an ant.
No, it's a major pissed off thing living in my home.
Well, kill it, Bob.
I can't. He's got a bow.
What? You can't kill him? Why?
He's got a bow. Oh, he's off again.
Bob, he doesn't know how to use it.
Bam! Take that, fucker.
Did you get him?
I would think so. I hit him really hard.
You may have just dazed
I hit
him.
him so hard. I hit him so hard that he fell into a wormhole into a parallel dimension. Or I just lost him behind that bookshelf thing.
Now, show us your hand and then use one of your fingers to show us how large that the bug was so that we have a comparison so that people know. I am under the impression that that might be an exaggeration, Bob.
No, it was probably about this long, which is like the entire, like one of my knuckles. If it was sitting on my finger, it would freak me the fuck out, I think.
Says the guy who feeds bees with the soda in his hand.
That's different. Did you see the way this thing was looking at me? And he had a freaking bow.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't know how to use it.
No. No. I feel better now. He's taken care of. So unless his entire family decides to take revenge on me, I'm good to go.
Ding dong, the bug is dead. The wicked bug, the wicked bug. Ding dong, the wicked bug is dead.
Oh no! Look out behind you!
Oh my. Here, I'll puke it into your mouth.
Right.
Just like a bird. Come on, Bob.
That's a little weird. This is the book I'm reading now.
Eye of the World by Robert
Jordan.
Okay.
It's book 1 of the Wheel of Time series. Now, I have read a lot of the Wheel of Time series, but I went back and I'm reading it from the beginning again. It's totally awesome. I think there's like 14 books in the series. And Robert Jordan died before he finished the last book. So his partner and his wife finished it with the notes that he had taken.
That's why I have a lot of notes, so that if I ever start and be a really successful book writer, people can use my notes to finish my legacy. If I wasn't already immortal.
Good call, man. See, I too take a lot of notes, but I do them for entirely different reasons. I forget shit. And I saw a note yesterday. A friend of mine sent me a text. What I had done is I was working at this place for 8 years, and around the building I have got lots of things just around the building that are very me-ish. One of them was somebody wrote in like pencil or pen on this little tag. So I put another tag next to it going, pen? Really? Try a marker. And, well, they took a picture of that and they sent me a text of the picture of that saying, you know, you've been gone, but you're still here. And they thought that was kind of cool, which it is. And I was telling them that if I had known that I was going to be, I don't even know if I was fired or if I quit. I'm not sure on how that worked. But if I had known that I would have been leaving there as quickly as I would have spent like the last month that I was there just leaving messages and drawings and words of wisdom and shit all over that building for future generations of Parker employees.
That's the problem, is when you're in a situation like that, you never have the foresight to know that, hey, I should start doing weird shit.
Yeah, yeah. Which, let that be a lesson to you, to all of you, any viewers out there, anybody listening to the podcast later on, do weird shit from the start, always, just in case.
I can be completely generic about this because this happens so often that I can't even nail down one specific situation. At work, every once in a while, I will get a note that says customer XYZ at address 123 Street Avenue. Okay? They are wondering where their mail is at. Why aren't they getting any mail? Or something along those lines. The more general question is, why haven't they been getting any mail? As a mail carrier, I literally take everything they give me in the morning and bring it to you, my customer. So the most recent incident, there was a sticky note on my time card that, you know, said customer X is wondering, you know, at this address, why haven't they gotten a lot of mail? So I wrote another sticky note and stuck it right next to it that says, I don't know, unicorn stole it, question mark? That note disappeared and nobody seemed to get upset, so I'm going to start doing that more often.
Nice, nice. I have a suggestion for you.
Yes.
Is that when somebody is complaining about not having a mail, write down the address. And for every time somebody does that, you now have another pen pal. You can then write to them saying something along the lines of, "I'm sorry you haven't been getting any mail. I am DJ, and I would like to be your friend." And then just stick that in their mailbox.
But I don't want to talk to a lot of these people. Not that they're not nice people. It's that the people that complain, let's go with a completely generic situation. Let's say Mr. and Mrs. Smith have moved into 123 Street Avenue, okay? They just moved in a month ago. The only thing that they used to get in the mail, which they don't realize until you point this out to them, the only thing they used to get in the mail were flyers and those catalogs that have like party favors in them. So when they stop getting that, because that doesn't get forwarded, that stuff doesn't get forwarded. That stuff stays and continues to go to that old address. So when they stop getting that, then they're like, well, why aren't we getting any mail anymore? Well, you're not getting any mail anymore because you moved.
So you have to go back to those websites where you get your little gadgets and things and say, hey, send me stuff here now.
Or I had a college professor ordered something from a catalog, and he purposely spelled his name wrong. His first name was Greg, and he added an extra G in the end, so it was Greg with 2 G's.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of the next year, he kept everything that showed up with Greg with 2 G's, because it was the only thing he ever ordered with that specific spelling of his name. 100 pounds of mail was generated from him ordering one T-shirt, I think.
So the place where he ordered that from then probably sold his address to somebody else and somebody else.
That's generally how it works, is that once somebody gets your address, they're like, well, we've got all these extra addresses if you'd like to purchase this list. And then those people go, oh, yeah, we would like that. And then somebody else asks them, hey, we need a list too.
Wow, people are dicks. Now, a great idea that I heard, and I would love to try this if I ever thought about it when it was, is all the things that you get in the mail that you just have to fill out and you stick back into the envelope that says it's like
Business
postage paid.
return mail or something like that.
Yeah, where you don't even have to put a stamp on it.
Right.
Those envelopes are great for putting other junk mail in and sending them back to the guys.
You have actually tipped upon a little fun thing we used to do. The missus used to take, now don't send any identifying information. Basically, it's take one person's nondescript junk mail crap that they've sent us and put it in somebody else's junk mail crap and send it to them, but no connection to us whatsoever. And she used to do that for quite a while, and I don't know if, do you still do that?
No, I haven't done that in a long time, but I can.
We're going to start doing that again, Bob, and you want to join us?
Oh, hell yeah.
Because it's prepaid postage, and we would love, as the Postal Service, to deliver it.
No. Anybody listening to this, you have to understand that you are indeed. Do we have another viewer?
Yes, we have a viewer, but she said we should also put glitter and confetti in them. So when they open them up, woo!
Have you ever tried to get glitter off your hands? Yeah, it sucks. Now here's the thing. Here's how that works.
Glitter is the herpes of crafting supplies.
It is. Wow.
Okay, sorry, Bob. I'll stop interrupting.
Well, I'm just saying that the postage paid. Here you are providing money for the post office. Otherwise, that stuff goes in the garbage. I mean, send it back empty if you want. You don't even have to put anything in there. You can send it back empty. But they're prepaid. Use them. Stick them back in the mail.
Exactly.
It's not going to encourage anybody to say not send them. They're going to keep sending them, and you just keep sending them back. And encourage everybody you know to do this.
And here's something that drives me up the wall. If it says current
anti-gravity car.
Well, no. If it says current resident, It has to come to you. I legally have to deliver it to you. You can try to give it back to me. The only thing that's going to happen is I'm going to re-deliver it to you.
You know what?
Once it's in your box, I don't care what you do with it.
I am actually the current resident of my house.
Exactly. I actually had that conversation with a customer. Why do you keep giving me this? Well, who's it addressed to? Well, there was a name or current resident, so it said like J.P. Doe and or current resident. I'm like, well, okay, obviously you're not J.P. Doe. Are you current resident? Well, yeah. It's yours.
Enjoy.
Yes, yes, I do that too.
Will you?
And I've never complained, so.
It may
They're standard.
some of them it's a standard thing. Yeah. What I do is when. What I do is when they give it back to me, the first thing I do is I circle or current resident and I put it back in the box. If it comes back to me again, I put an arrow pointing to the circled or current resident and put it back in the box. After that, I just keep adding more arrows until they get the hint.
Yeah, nice.
Hi. Hi. I had a P.O. box for my business when I first started years and years ago. And I kept getting other people's mail in my P.O. box. And so I brought it to the counter to the people, and I said, what do I do about this? And they said, write NATA on the envelope and put it back in the box, which is for not at this address. So that way they'll know to take those people's names off of my P.O. box and stop delivering that mail. And so that's what I did. And then I would find that I would put it back in the P.O. box, and I would push it towards the back so that it would stick out the back, so that they would see it. They would just shove it in my box again. So then I started shoving it all the way through the box, throwing it on the floor. Then I didn't get it back. Yeah.
Now,
another thing that you could have done is just keep the mail coming in, and hopefully, sooner or later, you'll start getting Christmas cards or birthday cards with, like, money in them, and it's yours. They delivered it to you.
We got letters, and there was an insurance check of some type at one point. Yeah, there was all kinds of important things to other people that I kept, trying to give back, and they just wouldn't listen.
Now, just so you know, that stuff ended up in the garbage, because if they're going to continue to try to give it to us, even when we try to give it back, it's just going to go in the garbage. Because it is illegal. It is a federal offense to open somebody else's mail. It's true.
That I knew. But if they if they're sending it to your house, it only counts as yours if it says for current resident, right?
And then I can open it because I am the current resident. See, and I saw your face there with the NATA. The post office is a lot like the military. We have thousands and thousands of acronyms.
NATA is one of them.
Yes. And ANK and UTF. Did you find the bug again?
Nope. I am the Great White Bug Slayer. I figured that out.
I'm going to write that one down. Why has it got to be a white thing, Bob?
Because that's just general description. I guess you could say great red-bearded hunter, but
we could, but that would be extremely long. Viewer, have you gone to Facebook to our official thread to comment?
normally we have a question and answers thing up, but we don't this week.
Yeah, because nothing happened last week, so I didn't bother bringing it up this week. Actually, I forgot about it this week. But, I mean, nothing happened last week either, so that's why I didn't bother.
Amazingly enough, last week's after we stopped filming, the conversation got really cool.
We literally talked for another hour.
But it was stuff that we couldn't talk about in front of strangers. So
yes, because I didn't want to pull the curtain that far back.
Yeah.
What are you showing me?
Curtains. It's all good. Ignore me. Okay. So,
just randomly showing me curtains.
Well, you talked about pulling the curtain back, so I did.
Oh, Bob, you need to
try to stay with the conversation, man.
Yeah, I'm a little slow. True.
I'm saddened that I'm unable to watch new Doctor Who episodes.
What is that noise?
The timer on my phone to tell me the brownies are done.
Sounds like an old jalopy.
It's an old car.
What's a jalopy? Do they have
it's an old car. It's an
old
car.
So it potentially could have chocolate in it.
It could.
Like a Model T.
Ah.
Nice.
Conversation kind of died.
It did.
Yeah, you can't do that because you trim your mustache, you mustache biter.
I stopped though because I like the way that yours comes out past your rear guard. So I decided to stop biting my mustache, but now it's very like.
There is a period of time. There's a period of time where I can't stand the hair on my lip. Now I'm still in that period, although now I can curl the ends and I can start tying women up on train tracks. Or I can start swashbuckling because that's kind of what this looks like too, like Errol Flynn swashbuckling.
Nice. No, you should do that, dude. I was thinking about doing that myself, doing this and then just keeping not the regular goatee, but just that
the strip.
That little thing on the bottom there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Errol Flynn, I like him. He's cool.
Now that I can grow facial hair a lot faster, because both she and I have noted that this has come in a lot quicker than last year.
Well, then I saw Bob.
Bob shaved this morning. That's just today's worth of growth. Anyway, we both noted that it's come in a lot quicker, so next year it should come even faster. So while I have, when I get to the point to where I want to shave it, I either want to do the Hulk Hogan thing where I want to keep just the handlebar, super handlebar thing, or I want to have the old-timey twisty mustache with the thing, and I can wear a hat with a feather in it, and people won't give me a second look.
You have to fight like this.
Come on, Bob. I should challenge you to a game of punch. I have to let you know, Bob, that I am the North Dakota bare knuckle champion. Oh.
You're talking about something. You're not talking about fighting, are you?
No. Oh, do you see this?
Yes.
Okay. I used to. I don't have it up here anymore. I used to have a Fitbit, which was a tiny little clippy thing. You've seen it. It used to be attached to my shirt all the time.
Yes.
This is now my Fitbit. It's got a readout, and it tells me steps and the time and all kinds of stuff. And I think it's more accurate.
Now, how does that measure your steps?
It.
Like based on how many times you go back and forth, or just satellite freaking imaging, or
It's sensitive enough to where it knows the impact when I make a step, so it counts that. I was looking at it counting today because I was checking my step count while I was walking, and it was going up. So I was like, "Well, that's really cool."
See, because my hands don't know what to do when they're attached to my arm, and so I end up doing things like drumming stuff all the time, or I'm a fiddler. Not like fiddle, but I fiddle with things. I play with things and stuff. And I didn't know if, say, drumming on a desk with tools when you're supposed to be working would set off like steps, or if you have to actually step.
I don't know if it would count as a step, but it also keeps track of how many calories I burned. So while I'm putting mail in today, I'm hoping that it counted all kinds of extra. In fact, I should take a... Ooh, somebody left me a brownie. You left me this brownie, right?
Yeah, quite a while ago.
Okay.
We just hope the cat didn't leave it. I didn't seem to get one.
Mmm.
I keep setting them too close to DJ. They don't make it through the. They don't make it through the computer, huh?
Yeah. She needs to not set him next to me.
That's okay.
Viewer, you can literally win this DVD right here. All you have to do is post. That's how you win the DVD. Go!
By posting. There's a, what do I have on here? Oh, Veterans Day. Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to mention. I was really surprised this year. It seemed like there was a time when vets were vets. There wasn't really much. They're making such a big deal about Veterans Day the last couple of years. All the places that were giving away free meals and stuff to vets. There was one place, a steakhouse, that was giving away a free meal to any of the ex-military, current military, and their spouses.
Yeah, let me tell you a little story about the Subway that we went to on Veterans Day. The Subway that we went to on Veterans Day gave 50 cents off of a 6-inch and $1 off of a foot long. It was such a meager discount that we didn't even bother getting it.
Wow.
Did Bob go anywhere? Get something?
Did you get anything for free on Veterans Day, Bob?
No, I didn't. I was working with people who said they were going out. But I mean, it was everything from McDonald's to Red Lobster was giving away free meals, and it's like that's cool. I feel guilty though with that because I deployed, but I was never in a wartime situation, and it's like, what did I really do for our country? I don't feel like I deserve thank yous. I don't deserve the free. What's that?
I'm completely with Bob. I completely agree.
I
don't think that you guys deserve these gigantic pats on the back for accepting a job that you got a paycheck for.
No, I mean, granted, the potential was there. We could have been deployed at any time, but I didn't feel like I did anything. I got no dollars either.
Bob's missing out on that too.
Yeah. I sell stamps at work because I'm the only carrier on the rural. Actually, I'm the only carrier in the office that carries stamps for the carriers. So every few days, there's one guy that buys pretty religiously, and today he purchased one. So yeah. Anyway, well, go ahead.
Oh, I know Applebee's does a free meal, and Golden Corral, and Starbucks was doing a free coffee for veterans and spouses of active duty, I think it was.
Here's my thing, and I'm not sure how you feel about this, Bob. Forget how long I was in. I am extremely uncomfortable with people showering me with thanks for having had a job for 3 years.
Yeah,
well, I keep you down to earth then, because I don't shower you for any of it.
It's kind of uncomfortable. It's like I don't feel that I deserve the thanks. Granted, potentially, we signed up to put our lives on the line if they needed us to. So potentially, it was there that they could have called us at any time, but because it wasn't, I don't feel like I really.
But But what I'm wondering, okay, let's pretend for a second that we were actually in some sort of combat situation. I still don't feel comfortable accepting someone's thanks for having had a job that just happened to let me play with a gun for a while.
That's true.
And I actually get angry at people at co-veterans that seem to thrive on this thanks.
Well, there's a guy that I used to work with who is he's just a real jackass, and I wasn't surprised that he was a volunteer firefighter. Now, I'm not saying that all firefighters are jackasses because I know a lot. You know, my brother's a firefighter, and through him, I do know a lot of people who are firefighters. But this guy that I know, you can tell with.
Are you listening to Bob?
Go ahead, keep going, Bob. I'm going to show you something.
Okay, you can tell by this guy that he knows he's an asshole, and he's got such low self-esteem that he has to put himself in danger to save people just to make him feel better about himself. And I think that's the type of, and we have some of the military people who are the same way. They were just real jackasses, but that was their way of saying, I know I'm an asshole, but this is what I'm doing for your country. Look at the kitty.
Jesus, mother. Okay, so
that was Jesus' mother?
The Friday.
I was expecting her to be a little less fervent.
Okay, hold on. We'll get into that in a second. The Friday before Veterans Day has now routinely at our post office, I don't know if this is a post office in general, but at our post office has become Let's Thank the Veterans. So our postmaster reads a little thingy, basically what the contents of the letter I'm looking at is, and then he makes all the veterans stand up in front of everybody so that they can applaud us.
Did you do that this year?
Yes. Now, last year I went up because, okay, I happened to be near the front, so there was no problem just standing up there. This year I didn't really want to go up, but because my name was not the first one called, I watched what happened when somebody didn't bother going up. Basically, the postmaster harassed them until they came up, so I'm like, I'm just going to walk up there because it's just going to happen. So yeah. Now this year, they just gave us a letter and a little thingy, which I'm going to show you. But last year, here, let me click on myself here. I got this hard thing. Obviously, it says United States Postal Service, which is basically the same thing I got this year, which is the letter that they read with this postcard. Is that up? That's upside down. Now, the postcard says, today we honor those who have rendered the highest service any American can offer to this nation, those who have fought for our freedom and stood sentry over our security as members of the armed forces. USPS is proud of your service. Now, I really like how this is presented, and I like this container thingy here. We didn't get that this year, so this was last year's. But I'm still uncomfortable with. I mean, I really didn't want to stand in front of everybody and clap at me.
Now,
thank you for being in the Navy for 3 years.
When I joined, Desert Storm was just ending.
Yes.
So I got the ribbon saying, that I was in the military during Desert Storm. But I was still in boot camp. I got out of boot camp, it was over. It just seemed a little weird. Now, granted,
when did you get into boot camp?
August of '95, I think it was.
Oh, wow. I was in a full year before you got in? Because I got, and I know this for a fact, July 5th, 1994 was my first day of boot camp. Which ironically made July 4th, 1997 my Independence Day. Huh? Oh, question for Bob.
Yes.
If you post it on Facebook, you can win this Last Starfighter DVD, which we already own.
Okay, no, please. I will just ask him on camera.
Gotcha.
Do you have some sort of a military ID card as a veteran?
No. I don't. They took that away from me when I got out. They took that. But what I do have is a green piece of paper with X's on it. And that is like my get out of Navy free card.
You mean a copy of your DD-214?
14, yes, that one. That's the one.
Yeah. Now, I only had this in my pocket because she gave it to me on Veterans Day, and I've been carrying it around ever since.
I was just wondering because it seems ridiculous to need that paper, you know, for on Monday, for example, to get your free meal at Applebee's, you have to bring that paperwork with. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if maybe you had something and DJ doesn't just because we haven't looked into it.
No, they actually they took that when I got out, and I had to drive 3 hours to get that piece of paper right there. Well, not that piece of paper, the one that I've got. I had to drive 3 hours to Indianapolis to get that paper.
Wow.
They didn't give it to me like when I got out.
Now, did you used to have, when you got in, did you have the new ID card that was credit card sized, or did you have the old school one like I had that was so large it didn't fit into anything comfortably?
Mine was regular credit card, like the size of my license.
Yeah, mine. Okay, so if. All right.
You and I should go to that military thing on Expressway
Okay.
on Tuesday and see if there's some sort of.
So yours was the size of a credit card.
Yes.
Okay, my ID card was, for all intents and purposes, like this much bigger than a credit card.
Wow.
So, yeah, so I couldn't fit it into my wallet. I couldn't fit it into my pants pocket comfortably. Basically, it was always in the money slot of my wallet because it was so goddamn big. And I tried losing it. I tried burning it. I tried to get rid of that sumbitch all kinds of places, and all it did was they were like, oh, well, here it is. Oh, it looks like you got a little bit. We can still read it. No, give me a fucking new one!
I was just thinking something. If you did do the Earl Flynn look,
Yeah?
you would look like the Arrow.
Well,
You would look like the Green Arrow from the comics, not the Arrow that's on TV, but the Green Arrow comic.
but I don't like the Green Arrow comic. I like the Green Arrow from TV.
The one on TV is really cool. I'm watching it on Netflix. Or at least I was until Tuesday. I was watching like one episode after another. Tuesday was the day I got the book. And I started reading that. So I read 250 pages in 4 days. But it's a really cool book. It's all fantasy-ishy.
Well, as you know, as our listeners probably know, as our viewers probably know, I'm not a big fantasy guy.
You're a medium-sized fantasy guy.
Yeah, my fantasy guy.
Whoa.
Huh? What'd she say?
She says I'm not a big fantasy guy. Wow.
She thinks about somebody totally different.
I'm going to go rectify that right now.
And he's off. Ooh. Oh my gosh, dog's barking. That means he's probably doing one of two things. One of them is probably violent. And he's back.
I got brownie for my troubles.
Just like a man. That right there is how you shut a man up. All you women out there, pay attention. When a man is angry, just give him food. Or a boob.
Well, there's a thing on Facebook I saw the other day that says there's only two things a man can be, hungry or horny. So if he doesn't have an erection, go make him a sandwich.
Nice.
And if
Yeah.
you're out of bread, well, better do some other stuff.
Buy a sandwich.
No, I'm saying put out.
Yeah. This is granted it's not a doesn't have the dragons and elves and stuff like that in there. All the characters primarily are human, other than the bad creatures. But they have like this magic that they can use. And the cool thing about it is that the magic is in the air, the true source, and the females have the type of magic that they can use, and the males have the type of magic that they can use. But at the breaking, which was like 2,000 years ago, it got tainted by evil on the male side. So males who use the power end up going crazy and kill everyone that they care about and just totally like lose their minds and then die. The females can still touch the true source and use their side of the magic, and they're fine. So there's like this war between. It's pretty cool.
See, I don't mind, like, I would be more inclined to do Conan as opposed to Lord of the Rings, because Conan, there's no weird.
More medievally.
Well, it's more based in reality, and the magic actually costs something. Like you can't just willy-nilly make light jets shoot out of your fingers or your ass or whatever. It's like it looks like there's a lot of effort, and B, you're exchanging something to do it. Like,
yeah, they pretty much sell their souls to it.
Yeah, something like that.
I dig the medieval stuff. I think it's like, maybe some past life or something. But, I'm a big fan of swords and
You need to read Star Carrier. I don't remember what the first book is called. Let me find it.
There is a story.
The Star Carrier series by Ian Douglas, and the first book is called Earth Strike.
That sounds familiar. Who's
what?
I don't know what I'm thinking here. What's the series called? The actual series called?
It's the Star Carrier series. So there's Earth Strike, Center of Gravity, Singularity, and Deep Space, and there is a fifth book being written right now.
Either you were telling me about it or somebody else was telling me about it, but that sounds very familiar.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it in the past, but you need to read that because I would like to have a friend who likes that too, and it's very science fiction-y, but it's very reality-based science fiction. Like it's.
Tell me again the name of the first one.
Earth Strike.
Earth Strike. You know what? You did mention that before, and I wrote it down last time you mentioned it, and it's out in the apartment.
By Ian Douglas. Now, I listen to it because obviously I sit down and read like I used to, but I wholeheartedly recommend it as an option.
Okay, I do have an important question to you.
I am married, Bob, so no.
Okay. Apparently, DJ doesn't know how to spell Ian either. So.
I don't?
You just said no. You don't know how to spell it because you're married or something.
Oh, I-A-N.
I-A-N.
Ian, yeah.
And what was the last name?
Douglas.
Douglas. I wrote an S for some reason.
You should know how to spell Douglas because of
Douglas Adams.
Right.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
42.
42.
Okay, for things like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, or better yet, Lost. Lost had those series of numbers. Remember those?
I never watched Lost.
Oh. You need to watch.
Me and I think there's one other person who didn't watch that.
Yeah, the only two of you on the planet, right? So you
Yeah.
need to watch Lost. So there's a series of numbers that keep popping up.
Can't find it
Netflix.
because it's lost.
Bob. Anyway, the numbers are like 4, 8, 15, 16, something, something, 48, 108. Okay, so what I thought would be a neat idea is if I had reoccurring numbers in a series, let's say that I've got 4, 8, 15, and 16 as the first four numbers in this series, just stealing the lost numbers. I would make episodes 4, 8, 15, and 16 very key to what's going on so that you would start finding a pattern. So I would have a long string of numbers, and then, maybe after the fifth or sixth one, you'd start picking up going, maybe I should go back and check out episodes 4 and 8 and 15 and 16 and 27 and 32 and hut, whatever. Just to see what the hell's going on. And then when the series was over, you could look back at all the numbers going, oh my God, if I was just paying attention and I didn't have my head firmly lodged in my rectum, I would have gotten the answer to everything.
Nice. I would really like to come up with some sort of a scheme to hide things in my life that other people can find later. Perhaps after I'm dead, thousands of years from now, because that's when I plan on dying. And then, they were able to, find these things that I've hidden throughout my life. That would be awesome. Again, like we were talking about with the work stuff and all the words of wisdom that I had left throughout the building.
You're so cute.
That's why That's why you have to do what I started doing, Bob. I started writing stuff down, and because I have a whole bunch of these journals that are basically just empty pages. I don't know if that comes across. So I'm going to fill up as many of these as I come up with, but things that I find profound or lead towards something specific. I'll pull some curtain back here.
I am Jack's profound rage.
Yeah. I am my religious outlook is described as autotheism. Do you know what autotheism, Bob, is?
Does it have anything to do with the time flashing on a VCR?
No.
No, I don't.
Autotheism, the definition that you need to use for my particular definition here is autotheism is that I believe that it is my duty to become perfect, which will lead to my divinity. I believe I am God, but not yet.
Nice. But since God can, time travel, then I can see later on.
Right. So,
by
while I'm writing
nothing
stuff
but a big
down,
giant head living in a glass case.
While I'm writing stuff down, things that will lead me to this, I can put into one tome. So copy all the important bits into one book, and then that can be the book that gets passed on and becomes the whatever. That book just happens to be green, so it's probably not going to be a green book. I don't know.
Just knowing me is a plus for your becoming perfect.
It's true. I have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm immortal, though, so you're going to die eventually, but I'm not going to.
No one. So far, nobody has been able to prove that I can die. Nobody.
That is true. What I'd like to do is, when I get to a certain point, start acting as if I've been around a lot longer than I have. So get into a conversation with somebody like, yeah, I remember that. I mean, no. And they're like, but you're only 46. Yes, I'm only 46.
I'm 46. Nice.
Or describe something and just make it sound real old-timey, and they're like, that's a very archaic sounding description there. You're like, well, that's the way we used to talk back then.
Yeah. You start talking about records and no one will believe you. Wait, what? What are these records things?
There's a comedian that said, if my son ever asks me what a CD is, I'm going to smack the shit out of him. Because, you know, we'll have progressed. We're already past CDs, really.
Yeah. That's a shame, too, because CDs were great. But we are past them. Occasionally, this CD, I haven't bought a CD in a long time. What the hell would I do with it if I did? I don't have a CD player anymore.
That's the problem.
I mean, just about everything plays CDs. I mean, computers and the game systems and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, hell, freaking MP3s now. Actually, now it's what, MP4s.
Well, MP4s are video.
Oh, I thought you could have audio MP4s.
Well, it's going to have a video component to it.
Gotcha. The thing that I had seen on that said that the MP3s are 10% of the song size. So instead of being able to fit 30 songs onto a disc, you can fit 300 songs onto a disc. And then MP4s is 10% of that, so you're able to fit 3,000 songs onto a disc. Now, the latest thing that I saw was a new way of formatting CDs, allowing you to keep terabytes worth of information on a disc.
Okay. Well, when I download this video to chop it up and turn it into a production, it's an MP4 file.
Nice.
What you're probably talking about might be something along the lines of AAC or FLAC, which are lossless audio.
Yep, that's probably it.
I don't understand FLAC, so I mean, MP3s sound just fine to me. I don't have that refined need. I'm not an anal musician that needs to have absolutely every byte worth of music come out of something, so I'm okay.
Right. They get a little weird about this stuff now. The picture quality has to be perfect, and the sound has to be perfect. Let me tell you what happens when you watch TV. I don't know if you've seen the uber awesome video. My brother's got a TV that's so much better than mine as far as picture quality goes. And looking at this TV, it really looks weird. It looks too real. It looks more real than real. And it's one of those things where you're staring at this TV going, what is wrong with this image? And you're like, it takes you a while before your mind starts to work with that image. I mean, like regular shows, let's see, one time I was watching the A-Team movie there. Now, I've got the A-Team movie. That's a good movie. But watching it on his TV, with as real as it looked so real that it looked fake. There was something wrong with this image, and I couldn't tell what it was because it was so real. It was just bizarre.
That would
more
be
human than human.
More human than human. We used to listen to that in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You know what, Bob?
Navy story?
Well, we could tell a Navy story, but I don't have one in the gun.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Well, we're actually over the hour. I was going to say that it's probably a good idea to chop off the end here and do our normal ritual.
You're over the hour.
Your town.
We are over the hour, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for the official end of the show, Bob, we'll see you next week.
Take it easy, man. See you next week.
Oh, let me turn. Bye-bye!
This is the Lime Flavored Network.
Do you remember when I grabbed a mini tape recorder and we used to drive around just talking into this tape recorder?
Yep. The tape that we had was actually called Bob on Fire, and we were going to set Bob on fire at the end of it.
Well, yeah, we were. And what I loved is that it was essentially this show. Now, what it was is on our downtime in the Navy, we would sit this tape recorder between us in my car because gas was cheap back then. We would just fill my car up 4 or 5 times in a day and just drive around all day talking. And it was essentially this show, but 4 or 5 cassette tapes worth of us just talking. And then we would have our friends and stuff listen, and they thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Occasionally, we would have a friend in the back seat. Our special guest today is, and then we would have like the person. I remember April was on one of the recordings where she was like, "Hi guys, this is me," and it was cool because we had our special guest, and that was fun.
But whenever we had the third person, it seemed to ruin our mojo. I mean, we just didn't flow the way we normally used to. So it kind of like you could tell we had somebody in the car.
Oh yeah, very much so. You can't observe Bob and DJ without changing the.
Well, you could observe Bob and DJ, but you can't include yourself in amongst Bob and DJ. Otherwise, you would ruin the mojo.
Mojo. No mojo.